Marnie, you straightened your hair.
I did.
Looks cute.
Thanks. Not crazy today.
How's it going, Marnie?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Good.
So we were they were asking us if we taught our classes yet. I told them we had our first one last night.
If I don't unmute my microphone.
So.
Go in the other room. Sorry, Cammie.
Oh, you're good.
She's gonna go in the other room, so there's not feedback.
So when do you guys teach yours?
We start next week.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the first one is Wednesday of next week.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Tuesday of next week.
Or Tuesday. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean we're pretty close, right, babe?
I think so.
Yeah. Man, I gotta tell you, like, this happens every semester, but everything kind of falls apart in the middle of the semester. Like, my brother got married this past weekend, and I was the best man, and Cammie like basically ran the wedding for us. She did everything.
That's awesome.
So we didn't get any of our homework done for last week, so it was in any of our classes. So you know how it goes. It's been crazy.
Huh. Do you guys have an idea of how many people are going to be there?
Not yet.
Yeah, we're still. I
Still
think,
trying to finalize numbers.
so. The bishop told me that he has at least 25 that he wants to be there. Like he's making at least 25, but he said of that 25, 15 will probably show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think we have both sets of our parents coming and maybe some other family members.
That's cool.
We have a lot of people from the ward that want to come too. We probably have a good amount. We'll see.
Where are you guys presenting at?
At the church building. We were going to do it some other locations, but this is the only one that ended up working out.
Yeah. Marnie, how many people showed up at your thing last night?
I had 6.
Good.
Yeah. How about you?
I had a lot more than I thought. I was scrambling to put some folders. You know, I copied off our last minute thing, and so I was scrambling to put them together. But I ended up having about, I think it was 16.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Because I had, well, last night it was young women. Tonight's the women. But there were a couple of women that came last night that couldn't come tonight, and so they came last night. And but anyway, it was good. It was fun.
I wasn't able to finish all of my prepared material, which is really frustrating.
You weren't?
I didn't get through gratitude, optimism, service. We didn't even get to fill out the happiness worksheet or have an intermission.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is it because you had a lot of participation?
Yeah, a lot of talk, like a lot of great comments, but my mom was there and my mom never shut up, and so I was super frustrated. Like, my husband went because he wanted to watch, even though it was for women, but he was there and he was sitting next to her, and he could tell I was just like, I couldn't get her to stop talking. It's really a problem. So yeah, it was like a personal one-on-one therapy session. Even though I said like a million times, I am not a therapist. I cannot help you with your depression medication.
Oh no.
So yeah,
that's what I'm a little worried about with our presentation. Is our
Yeah.
parents coming and talking too much?
Yeah. Well, you know, we have to be prepared for those things. We have to be prepared for people who talk too much, people who come to workshops and say things that maybe you're not prepared for and you don't know what to do or say. I actually had a young woman come last night, and you know, I'm used to these young women because I served in there for so many years and just got released. But this one young woman, she kind of comes off and on, and she like brought up during our trials section, she brought up same-sex attraction, which I think, you know, I mean, talking about that stuff doesn't bother me at all. I'm a very open and blunt like person and leader. But she's been diagnosed with bipolar, and she's been diagnosed with all this stuff. And so it seemed like I was trying to control her comments and what she was saying as well. And like, she had a comment for everything because, you know, she's a pro at all this because she has everything, you know.
Right.
But I mean, it was good. We had some really good comments and feedback, but I was able to get through all of it. There was the humor section that we had, that handout. I just went over the bullet points. I didn't go through everything, so I kind of skimmed over that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was able to get through it all, so I was grateful about that.
No.
Yeah, it was interesting with all the, you know, you have all these questions that you want to ask the participants, but then when you realize that you have a lot of participation, you kind of have to think twice about the questions you ask, because you're like, okay, if I ask this question, you know, too much time is to be taken, or what are they going to ask? And, you know, you kind of have to, like, I don't know, you have to juggle it. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. The one thing I did change though is the happiness activity, where we had them write things that made them happy down and then shared them. I skipped the whole writing part. I just asked for comments because I knew I was watching the whole time. And so you just knew, I knew that I needed to slowly cut little pieces out, just so that I had enough time. I think that's one of the hardest part with teaching a workshop is managing the time.
Absolutely. Jeff, Tammy, have you guys ran through yours yet?
We've gone through different portions of it, but we haven't gone through the whole thing yet. We have to do that before we. Go ahead.
You, Tammy.
Cammy will just freeze but so what I found is a lot like you, Tammy. When we did our teaching for the, like you did the portion of the teaching,
right?
We went on, so it was only supposed to be like 20 minutes. I think we taught like 2 of the principles for 45 minutes.
Oh wow.
So I really learned, kind of like what you're saying, Tammy, that you have to adjust, and what you said, Marnie, that you have to adjust your teaching according to the audience.
Absolutely.
You know, because some people are going to need different things, and it's really awesome that you learned that, Tammy and Marnie, both of you guys, that you were able to do that. I think we have a lot of people that have those type of issues too, Tammy, like bipolar disorder. I think there's one person I know has schizophrenia that it'll be interesting, and they actually live in a group home, so we'll see.
How many people they bring?
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll see how it goes. And he's a big talker, so we'll see what happens.
Well, that's where you just keep saying over and over again, like Marnie did. I'm not a therapist. I'm just an educator, which I think was great to have our last week's reading about that, because it really emphasized what our role is doing these workshops. And in fact, when I went through the CBT, I don't know what your experience was, Marnie. Maybe you can share it. But I mean, I know, because it's so detailed and it's so hard to go through the CBT in just a few short minutes. And so I kind of shared with them an example. I'm going to kind of revise it tonight. I'm going to be more specific on my example, but that was, when I was looking at my assessments, that was one of the things that they all answered neutral. They didn't agree or disagree. Right. It seemed like most of them answered neutral, which tells me that they really don't understand it. And even though, I told them too. I said, if any of you guys feel like this can help you in your lives, you are welcome to come to me. And again, I just told them I'm not a therapist, so I can't, tell you how to do things, but I can show you how to do this worksheet in more detail if you're interested in it afterward. And not one person came up afterward. So,
Tammy and Spencer, have you had the 460 class where you go through the CBT?
Yeah.
The stress and coping?
Mm-hmm.
We're in Family 360 right now. We haven't done Family 460 yet. That's what we're doing next semester.
Okay, because you'll learn about the CBT, and it's a great tool, but it's a little bit. Is it 460 or 360?
It's 360. Yeah,
360, yes.
we've already studied CBT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys doing
it's kind of confusing to explain.
Yeah, we have a portion that's dedicated to CBT.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's nice to know that it's kind of difficult to describe and stuff.
So I would say take some time to really work through it, like the two of you, so you can explain it. Thankfully, one of the ladies in my group, or my participant, she's done CBT before with her therapist, and so she was able to reiterate, like, yes, it does work, but it was hard to explain the proper way to do it. So I would advise you guys to really spend some time so you're both really clear on the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to use it like hypothetically, like you're like, okay, pick an experience and think about how it made you feel, like in the past. It's easier to do on a current situation instead of making it up something that's in the past. Does that make sense? Like a lot of the people that were in the group couldn't come up with a scenario to work through. So I don't know. Play with it and see.
And I didn't have them actually write on the worksheets. I mean, I know that we talked about having them do that at first, Marnie, and go through the worksheet, but I ended up not having them go through it because I thought it was going to take too long. But I think that, and if you guys are still in your 360 class, there's an example that's given for the CBT. I remember of a lady and her daughter passed away, or she died, and she felt guilty about not being there. And I thought that was a perfect example for the CBT. And that's what I want to do tonight, is just share with them an example like that that's already kind of written out and shows the steps that they can follow, and not necessarily have them do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but just
that makes sense.
Explain it thoroughly and give them the example and the steps, which I did end up copying off the steps to the CBT. I shot Marnie a text right before my workshop last night, and I'm like, we should have put the steps in with our worksheet in the folder. And so I hurried up and typed them up and printed them off and stuck them in there at the last minute. But I don't know.
The one thing that I think is going to be really interesting is that, quite honestly, I think CBT might be too advanced for some of the people.
Absolutely.
So for us, we might have to leave some of it out, or do what you're saying, Marnie. Maybe not leave it out, but explain it really generally and specific in order to be clear. I don't know. I'm kind of worried about that section because I think we explained it to my parents and Cammie's parents, and they didn't get it at all. They thought
nobody got it.
But they didn't get it at all. So I'm kind of worried that a lot of people aren't going to understand it. So
they could understand the value of it, and they could understand the importance of changing a negative thought to a positive thought, but they couldn't figure out how to get from negative to positive.
Yeah, that is exactly right.
It's hard, and so they understood the value of it, but I don't see that any of them were like, oh, that's really helpful. I'm gonna try and do that every single time I have a hard situation. Like,
right.
It's not. I think I'm gonna skip that tonight, because I taught women, like the adults, last night, and I'm teaching the young women tonight. I don't think that they're gonna follow that, or even have like a desire to listen to that. So I'm just gonna skip that tonight.
Yeah,
I fully agree. I agree with you, Marnie, that you really have to cater to your audience. So
yeah, I would skip it.
It's hard. I mean, like Tammy and I sat and we went, like you guys, I'm sure are doing. We saved out like 5 pages of outline stuff and PowerPoints, and it felt like it was something totally different by the time we presented, like what we started with. It changed and more so many times. So yeah.
Well, I think that's why she counsels us to do it so many times is because, and why she wants resubmit so many times is because it does change.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a butterfly, like a caterpillar in a cocoon, and hopefully at the end it's a butterfly.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and not a moth.
Yeah. You think it's going to be a butterfly?
And you know, it's interesting. I was actually reading, going through the readings again, and one thing really stood out to me. I don't remember what chapter it was in, but it basically explained how. Oh gosh, what section was that? I can't remember, but it explained how only 49%, or that a group taught, a family educators taught some people, and they only understood 49% of the lesson. Well, and then the educators thought, oh, well, we sucked, we didn't do any good. But then they explained that it depends on what the people actually understood. Did they understand 49% of what you wanted them to understand, or 49% of the other junk?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really all about, you have to cater your lesson. You may think that nobody understood the things that you wanted them to get, but everyone's in a different situation, so they're going to understand what's more applicable to them. So,
Right.
so we have to remember that our success isn't necessarily based on how much information we get out there. It's based on, are we helping individuals understand something that can help them cope in life. Here.
Well, that goes along with the same idea that we can all listen to general conference and the same talk, but we all get something different out of it, because
absolutely.
it's what we need to hear and what we need to use and take into our lives. So yeah, you're right, Spencer. So what are you guys most afraid of about your workshop? Do you have any fears, or are you going into it being like, okay, I'm ready for this, it's gonna be awesome?
I'm afraid that I'm going to clam up and not talk at all, because I have a tendency to get really scared and like either talk like really super quiet so no one can hear me, or really, really fast so no one can understand. And if they're really, and so usually like when I have to give a talk in church, I stare at Spencer and he's like, slow down, talk louder. And I'm like, so he's going to be standing next to me. This isn't going to work very well for me. I'm really worried about it.
But you have to understand, I'm not shy, so I'll be like, Cammie, it's okay. Come on.
Talk louder.
Let's walk it out. Now explain that to them again. No, I won't embarrass her or anything, but I to me it's all about making sure things are clear and understand, or that people understand. I'm not really scared of anything. I just want to get it over. I want to get it done with.
Yeah.
More than anything. We're hoping that it all works out with schedule-wise for people so they can all show up on Tuesday, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We kind of, Cammie and I, without really knowing, we kind of picked the date, and we picked election night, which is so dumb. Like, who does that? My husband's all, who picks election night to have people come to a workshop? And so anyway, but it turned out fine, but it was just kind of funny. It was kind of nice that I didn't have to think about the election all day yesterday. Normally I'm like trying to pay attention. I had my mind off of it. So
I'm surprised anyone showed up. Yesterday was a big day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad they did, though. That's awesome. It sounds like you guys did a really good job, too.
It was good.
See how tonight goes.
Do you feel like you did a good job, or do you feel like you like crashed and burned? It sounds like you guys were comfortable with yourselves.
Well,
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah.
I did a lot better than I thought. I'm like Cammie. I get nervous,
good.
and I feel like I just didn't feel like I was prepared. And I knew I was prepared, but like maybe I felt inadequate. And like, what do I have to, like, how can I get this across and how I planned? But it actually all turned out a lot better than I thought. So I wasn't nearly as nervous as I was. Maybe that's all the praying I did. I don't know.
That'll help.
Yeah.
Makes a
Yeah.
big difference.
Yeah.
And for me, so Marnie did Relief Society first and then Young Women, and I did Young Women and I do Relief Society tonight. And so for me, the Young Women, to me, that's my element because I've been in there for so long and I know the girls like my own girls. And so I was pretty comfortable. I mean, there were women there too. We had like 8 or 9 women that came to, they're leaders and then a couple extra. But, I thought it went good, but I'm more nervous, I think, for tonight. But last night, it's bad to say this, but I felt it was kind of like a really good practice for tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need to get my door. Just a sec.
You're fine.
So, remind me again, you guys are doing 2 workshops, so the same people need to come both times?
No,
Or how are you doing?
because they're each 2 hours long, so different people can come, but there's 2 different sections of the workshop. So if people want to come to both, they can.
Okay, so you did have to prepare like 4 hours of material instead of repeating it twice. You're doing 4 different hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's a lot of work.
Well, we probably have like 30 hours of material too, so
Right?
yeah. We'll see if we can condense it to 4 hours, but it's always better to have more than less,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I think we're over prepared, if anything. like it's gonna be more of an issue of condensing it to making sure that everyone understands each principle appropriately.
Yeah.
Right, and giving enough time to, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really liked doing only the 2 hours and presenting it twice is I feel like it's a process. And I feel like, at least for me, of course, we probably need to wait and see what happens tonight, but I feel like going through it once with a group that I was able to go back through and I made notes on my outline, like what worked, what didn't, what I wanted to change. And then it gives me a second chance to, like a do-over. So it gives me a chance to do it again tonight and see if those changes really worked, if it works better. And, I read through the assessments already, and so I'm going to implement some of the comments that were made there. And so I like that, but I also like the idea of also presenting like a longer, bigger one. I think it's a lot more work, but I like the benefits of being able to present the workshop twice.
I think for us, it's more about and I'm sure it's the same way with you guys too. It's just we knew specific things that the people in our area needed, and so we had to we wanted to really touch on specific topics. So all of our teaching is geared towards the individuals in specific areas instead of the information that it's not geared towards just getting information out there. It's more geared towards the individuals and understanding certain principles and helping them. And so I think for us, it was almost like, okay, we want to teach these principles about like finances and self-sufficiency. And then we had to figure out how to incorporate everything else. so
And how to make it family life education instead of a budgeting class, because that obviously won't work.
Yeah.
True.
So we have a ton of information, but it should be awesome.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that I was just saying, I think I have a feeling that if this goes successfully, that the rest of our stake is going to ask us to come around and give it to other places. So hopefully it's not just like this giant presentation that we don't ever use again.
Yeah. That'd be great if you guys could keep presenting it.
That's what we're hoping.
I'm hoping I lose mine and I can never do it again.
Oh, that's weird.
If we're going to be honest, I'll just be honest with you. It's not something I totally enjoy.
Oh, that's funny. I'm neutral. I could go either way.
Not my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel really good that I've been able to do it, but it's not something that I'm like, want to do every day of my life. Like, I can't see myself being a family life educator. It's too much for me.
I understand that.
I do too. But this is actually going to be good practice because it's one of the possible internships that we're looking at doing is giving family life education classes all about marriage. So it might be really good practice for us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing for my internship next semester.
What are you doing, Mark?
I'm working for Aaron. Okay, I can't remember his last name. Anyway.
Online?
Yeah, he's out of Texas. Have you talked to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one we're gonna do too.
Are you doing it next semester too?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, he
cool.
has me doing it here too.
Yeah, he said because he gave us a list of like, he owns his own company and then he works for another company, and he has a ton of different internships you can actually choose from.
Yeah.
So which one are you gonna do?
Well, there were 3 of them that he gave me a choice from. One was research, and I told him that's at the bottom of my list. I do not like the research side of my degree. And then the other 2, one was you build like a workshop, and I'm hoping that he gives me the workshop material. I don't know, maybe you guys know the answer to this. I haven't talked to him about it. But you have a workshop and you present a dinner to people who are married couples that are in service in your community, like teachers, police officers, firemen.
Yeah.
And then after their dinner, then you present like this little short workshop on marriage. Is that the one you guys are doing?
Well, we're up for either one. The other one too, which was he offered to pay us for the other one.
This is the one that you get paid for.
Okay.
He told me that this is the one. He goes, you can keep the money, or at least some of it, that you earn through this workshop.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's right. And then the other one is actually just creating blogs or something, right?
Yes, the other one's writing on the blogs. Yeah.
We might do both. We told them we're up for both of them. So
that's cool.
We'll see what we end up doing.
Yeah.
You guys should do the marriage workshop one.
We probably will. But we have a full semester next semester too, so we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're taking.
When do you guys graduate?
April.
Oh, you guys do April too. Cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys going up to Idaho for graduation?
We're hoping to, but we're not 100% sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Tammy.
Marnie's going. They've already planned their family trip, and I'm like,
cool.
I'm not going. I don't know.
Yes, you are. Come on, you're the closest one.
Me and you will be going down the aisle arm in arm.
Yes.
I think I still have I still have my graduation outfit from when I graduated at Rick's years and years ago.
You have to wear it again. That's awesome.
That's funny.
Dude, you're gonna go. You have to go.
I'll think about it.
I think it would be fun, but we might be working by then. It just depends on where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys do the marriage workshop and we have to come up with a workshop on marriage, we ought to work on it together.
I think that's a good idea.
Unless he hands us some papers and says, here's the workshop plan, just present it. That's what I'm hoping for. But
That would
I
be super nice.
Probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think
that's not it.
It sounded like to me that you have to come up with your own curriculum for everything. So, which is totally cool with me. I like that stuff.
I would love to work with you guys on that.
Yeah,
I have a lot of resources because actually last semester I did a blog and did a bunch of stuff on marriage and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
well,
I guess we should end this because she only watches 20 to 30 minutes of it anyway.
Yeah.
But
did we discuss what we were supposed to?
I don't know.
I think we're good.
We talked about the reading and we talked
Yeah.
about our council, like our consult stuff. So I think we're good.
I do too.
Yeah, we're good.
Is this our last
Okay, so
meeting then?
This is our last live synchronous meeting.
Oh, I want to know how you guys did.
Well, we can have another one.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have another one
We
after
should.
we've all done it, but just not videotape it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We want to hear
I
how
would
you
love to
guys.
hear how it goes.
Yep. Me too. So you guys do it next week. When?
Tuesday and Friday.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna record ours, so we'll send you guys a recording.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Oh,
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Then you can evaluate. You might want to think about doing that because then you can evaluate yourself if you go over.
Nah, I'm good.
Or don't.
No,
I hear the
think
camera
it
adds
would be good.
10 pounds, so I don't want to do that.
You guys. Oh, you're funny.
You're
Okay.
probably right, Spencer, but I'm just too not into that.
Hey, I totally understand. Don't worry, Marnie. I understand.
I do too.
Okay, I'm going to stop the broadcast.